It depends on if you have your 7 pillars locked down.
Oh, oh, oh.
All right. Surgeon, at the moment, I'm assuming, what do I know when it's time for me to switch my workout routine? When do I know when it's time to switch my workout routine? Oh, he went there. Oh, he went there. Oh, that's what she said. Haha. Dun, dun, dun.
That's fucking bullshit.
Is this a list of things I did to your mom last night?
So when do you know it's time to switch your workout routine? Well, it depends on, surgeon, it depends if you have your 7 pillars locked down. It depends on if you have your 7 pillars locked down. And if you don't know, now you know. Let me pull them up on the screen. You could download your copy at 7 Pillars of Swolenormous. So if you have this here, if you have this all locked in, all right, if you have all this locked in, if you have your community locked in, if you got your nutrition, you got your training, you're making sure you're sleeping properly, you're making sure you're doing your mobility, you got your meditation down, if you're eating properly, you've done an elimination diet, like you're doing things right, you will know. Let me rephrase this. If you are, let me get my face back here. So it's kind of similar to overtraining symptoms. Let's say your strength isn't improving. Let's say your strength is decreasing. Knowing when to switch up your workout routine can have some crossovers to under recovery and overtraining. So if you're hitting that plateau, if you're not making progress, you might have to either pull back and recover more, or you might need to change the stimulus. So if your strength is not increasing, the thing is there's a fine line between, because if your strength is not increasing, it also might not be your routine. It could just be your effort. You know what I'm saying? If your strength isn't increasing, it could be your sleep. It could be your nutrition. So I would say if you are not making progress, if you're doing it properly and you're not making it, if you're doing it properly, you're not hitting a plateau. So I think it depends on the context. It's really hard to answer this question out of context. The more I ever answer this question, it's really hard because if you're doing everything properly, then you wouldn't have to switch up your routine because you're doing it properly. So I would take a look at a couple different areas. I would look at your recovery and see if you're recovering enough. Let's say it's building muscle. Are you recovering enough? Are you sleeping enough? Are you hydrating enough? Are you eating enough calories? Because even if you're training hard, you're not going to be gaining muscle if you're not eating enough calories and if you're not getting enough protein in and if you're not training hard enough. If your strength is plateauing, you can look at that. So you have to cross-check these different areas, all these different pillars. If your strength isn't improving, have you been doing the same workout for too long? Has your weight been increasing? Are you doing a mix of different types of rep schemes? Is your strength flatlining or is it decreasing? Maybe the volume needs to increase. If it's just about muscle building, if it's about strength, you might need to look at some other variables. Maybe you're not doing any kind of maybe you're not doing the proper variables for strength training. Maybe you're doing too many repetitions. Maybe you're not having enough rest between sets. So it depends on how you are gauging your progress. So if you gauge it off strength, that's going to lead to us looking at different aspects. If you're gauging it off muscle growth, that's going to result in us looking at different areas. If you're going off, you know what I mean? It depends on what you're gauging your progress, what your goals are, because we want to work towards those goals. So it depends on what the other things you're doing that are collaborating that and making sure if those are all good, then you should be working on maybe increasing the volume, maybe doing some more overload, like some more negatives, working more towards failure. Maybe you're not training hard enough. Maybe you're not doing enough volume. Maybe you're not mixing up the mechanical action a little bit. You're doing just flat bench all the time. You're trying to increase. You're not doing incline bench. You're not doing dips. You're not doing push-ups. You're not shocking the muscles. Maybe you need another reaction, you need another stimulus. So it depends on the context supporting that.